Oh yeah, one of the most highly recognizable AI films is artificial intelligence. Like this came out. This is the old. Was this Spielberg? I think this was a Spielberg. This is 2001. Yeah, this is Spielberg. Right. This was an idea developed by Stanley Kubrick, and Steven Spielberg ultimately was one who brought it to life. And this is really a deep, 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 deep look at the relationship with humans and also AI. Like the film, like this is a fascinating moment in this technological history. Like the internet exploded, right? Computers are everywhere. The dot-com era has just transformed public conversations about technology. People are being serious about imagining the future where machines think and learn and even feel. Like this is kind of what we're expressing here. And this is a story about David, who is a robotic child programmed to love, not emulate love, not simulate love, but love. Like he is programmed to have this love response, like every single part of it. And once he's adopted by a grieving family, he forges an attachment to the mother, and she would be the center of his existence, right? This is a problem that humans are making. Humans change, right? David can't. He's rooted into that emotion, that locked in, kind of like you want him just to be loyal to you, don't want, whatever, that's not real love. People, kids can, everybody can love lots of people, right? So that's not a problem. And that's the thing, like the relationship with him changes and he doesn't have another purpose. Like his devotion, because of how he is made, and that's the real significance here. Not something that he chooses, not something that he would have written for himself. Because of how he was made, his devotion is eternal. Although I don't understand why that would be. I always kind of feel like that's a flaw in the writing. Like, we reprogram, even at this time, we would be reprogramming stuff all the time. You guys wouldn't even make something because that means you have absolutely zero resale value on it. So this is the problem that you guys created with your own model. Like you shouldn't have done this, right? You guys should have learned after that. Like some people are gonna give the kids up, or something tragic happens to them. They need to be able to be reprogrammed, bonding with one family. That's a flaw in the story, and that doesn't seem like that's as much an AI actual flaw. Like it's a big question. What I got more out of the story was less of that component because I kind of challenge that, but I do really really like the Pinocchio element of it. Like this because this is essentially like Pinocchio, like in the future, right? Where he's like seeking the blue fairy. Obviously, they make obviously it's that. Obviously, so when you say seeking the blue fairy, we already know that you're Pinocchio. Like you're both like artificially made, you're both seeking like this love and acceptance, both longing to be real, and you go on these like basically mythical quests for transformation. And AI just turns into, he what he gets is a philosophical question, is what he gets. It's not a biological change. It's more about what is consciousness, what's deeper than that. So this kind of suggests that David already possessed a lot of the qualities of being a human, all the things that we would say define being human. He has all those qualities, right? He hopes, he dreams, he suffers, he feels loneliness, he experiences loss, he feels love. And most importantly, he continues loving even when that love is not returned. So David kind of represents, you know, he's more like these like kind of idealized heroes, right? Where he really kind of walks through it. His quest just reminds us all about like just kind of the frailty of it, like the frailty of it. Like obviously it poses a lot of moral questions on the mother. Like the mother was this was jacked up, man. Like this was all told because it wasn't even that long, and then you guys were like, yeah, new kid or old kid back, and it was automatically tension, right? It was automatically tension because the new kid was kind of a little d-ho, right? But there's a lot of questions in this film, even though I kind of reject the premise of why he would be isolated. Like I just think that's a writing flaw in the story. But all the rest of it, all the other components, I think are very valid. I think Jude Law's character really reflects a lot of the idea of like being loved and being used, like being loved selectively, and even the danger within that. Even when you're doing everything, like this is at the behest of these people eternally, and they're just, like, it's kind of gross, man. Like it is kind of like, and this gets off the hook because they get into really hurting these, there's actually violence, and to see how long he lives, like he lives that's kind of the greatest gift. This is a long ass movie, by the way. Like, seriously, I was like watching, like, damn, this is a long ass movie. But at the end of it, you can appreciate what he's lived through, like what he experiences. And I think another film like that is Bicentennial Man. If you're looking for something else, like to kind of get into some deep studies about AI, like Bicentennial Man is another one that like is pretty contemporary. This time, I think they might have even come out within the same year, pretty close. But yeah, so that's the whole thing. Is David like really spends his time on this like deep revelation, man? It's actually pretty. You can watch this sci-fi and be like, this is actually some deep, well written. If you're like, this is Stanley Kubrick, right? People are gonna back on like, oh yeah, Stanley Kubrick, and it is that. It's 100% that. So I definitely like give this one an endorsement here. Check this one out. But we still get deeper. Like